The stars were quiet. Far out in the edge of the galaxy, there was a lonely space station. It was old, rusted, and forgotten by most of the universe. Only 5 crew members lived there, watching deep space signals. Their job was boring. Every day they listened. Every day they heard nothing but silence. Until today. "Captain Elros," said the young officer, Nara, her voice shaking. "There's something strange on the long-range scanner." Captain Elros stood up from his chair slowly. He was a tall, older alien with gray skin and wise eyes. "Strange? We haven't seen anything strange in 50 years. Nara nodded nervously. "I know, but this is different. It's not a comet, not a ship, not anything I can identify." Elros walked over and looked at the screen. A large, dark shape was moving through the edge of their sensor range. It didn't match any known ship design. It had no ID code, no beacon, and no signal. It just moved, slow and steady, directly toward them. "How big is it?" Elros asked. Nara gulped. "It's massive. At least 10 times the size of a dreadnought." Silence filled the room. "Is it broadcasting anything?" "No, sir. Nothing, but—" She paused, pointing at the scanner. "It's not alone. There's a signal far behind it. Old, broken, but it's human." At that word, human, the entire room went cold. The other officers stopped what they were doing. "Did you say human?" asked Talon, the weapons officer, his voice filled with disbelief. Nara nodded again. "Yes. The signal is weak, like an echo, but it matches old Earth frequencies." Captain Elros stared at the dark screen. "That's impossible," Talon said. "Humans disappeared centuries ago. They lost the Great War. Their homeworld was destroyed. We erased their colonies. They're extinct." "Then explain that ship," Nara whispered. Everyone turned to the scanner again. The shape was closer now. Too close. The legend of Earth long ago, Earth had been part of the galactic community. Humans had once walked among the stars, but they were proud, dangerous, and advanced in war. After the Great War, the other species joined forces. They destroyed Earth's fleets, bombed their cities, blocked their planet from all trade and help. It was a silent death sentence. No one had heard. From humans since, the galaxy moved on. But now, something was coming, and it wasn't small. First contact. Again, Captain Elros tapped his communicator. "Prepare a message to Central Command. Code red. Possible reappearance of human technology." But before the message could be sent, the lights flickered. The station's power went unstable. Screens turned off and on again. The air grew colder. A deep hum began to shake the walls. Nara screamed. "It's hacking us!" Elros shouted. "Shut down the comms! Cut all connections!" Too late. All the station's screens changed at once. A single image appeared. A burning Earth, covered in ashes, with a single word written across it. "Remember." Then, a deep voice filled the room. "You forgot us. We did not forget you." Everyone stood frozen. The voice was cold. It was mechanical, yet filled with anger. It echoed in every part of the station. Elros reached for his sidearm. "Shields up! Prepare defenses! We don't know what it wants." "It's not asking," Talon said grimly. "It's coming." The approach outside the station, in the darkness of space, the massive object grew larger. It was still far, but it blocked the stars behind it. It didn't glow. It didn't shine. It absorbed all light. Its surface was black, jagged, armored like a monster from legend. It moved without sound. No engines, no light, just death. The space station had no real weapons. It was just a listening post. "We need to send the warning now," Nara shouted. Elros agreed. "Send everything, images, audio, location. Use every channel. The galaxy must know what's coming." She pressed the button. The message went out. But would it be enough? The final moments, suddenly the shape vanished from their scanners. "It's gone!" Nara cried. "No!" said Talon, his hands shaking. It's here! They all ran to the main window. A black shadow loomed just above the station. It was so massive it looked like a moon, but it was no moon. It had edges, weapons, armor, power. Then, a beam of light shot out from the ship and scanned the entire station. Every wire, every heartbeat, every secret was exposed. The voice returned. You watched us die. You watched and did nothing. Now, you will watch no more. No, please, Nara cried. Captain Elros stood tall. We were not your enemy. The voice paused. You were witnesses, and you were silent. A low sound built up, a hum that grew louder and louder. Brace for impact, Talon shouted. But there was no escape. The human warship fired a single pulse. The space station exploded into dust, without sound, without fire, without warning. Only an echo far away, on a deep space communication outpost. A tired worker named Jer received a broken signal. It was full of static and strange noise, but one word came through clearly. Human. He stared at the screen, confused and scared. He ran to his commander. Sir, I think we have a problem. The storm begins back. At the Galactic Council on Capital Prime, the leaders of the galaxy sat in comfort. They were safe, rich, powerful. They had forgotten fear. Until an emergency message interrupted their meeting. An image appeared, the last moment of the space station, a single second before its destruction, and above it, a shape, a shadow, a warship, a monster, human-made. The room went silent. No one spoke. No one moved. The head of the council whispered, "This can't be real." But it was, and it was only the beginning. The galaxy was not ready. The message had reached the Galactic Central Command. It was short, broken, and hard to understand. But one word was clear: human. That one word made every official, general, and leader freeze in fear. In a large meeting, hall made of crystal and steel, leaders from 20 different species sat together. They were tall, short, furry, smooth, scaled, or armored, but all were afraid. Chancellor Draylen of the Varn Empire stood up. His voice was sharp. Is this some kind of joke? Humans are extinct. This must be a trick. But General Vok, a strong warrior from the stone-skinned Gorath, shook his head. I served in the last human war, he said. I've seen their weapons. I've seen what they can build. If that signal is real, we are in danger. A screen lit up behind them. It showed the last image sent by the destroyed station. A huge black warship blocking the stars. No engine trails, no ID code, no mercy. The old records in a deep underground vault. A historian named Kira searched through forbidden archives. She was a small, quiet creature with 4 hands and a long memory. Her job was to protect lost knowledge. Now she was told to uncover everything about Earth. Kira pulled out a dusty old chip labeled Earth, Last Transmission. She inserted it into a machine. A video played, a human city on fire. Ships falling from the sky, civilians crying. Then a voice, young, angry, and full of pain. You left us to die. You watched as we burned. We begged for help. None came. We remember. Kira watched in silence. Tears fell from her eyes. They were not monsters, she whispered. They were abandoned. Scout mission back at Central Command. The Council chose action. Send a scout fleet, Chancellor Draylen ordered. Find that ship. Observe only. Do not engage. 5 ships were selected from 5 species. Each carried the best pilots and stealth tech. Their job was simple. Find the unknown warship, study it, and return. The mission was called Silent Watch. The fleet entered deep space, heading to the last known location of the destroyed station. What they found was worse than expected: wreckage and warning. The scout ships reached the area. There was nothing left of the station. No pieces, no bodies. only. Fine dust floating in space, like it had been erased. But then, one pilot, Commander Ress, found something. A small floating object, a drone. She brought it aboard and scanned it. It was Earth technology, old yes, but advanced. Too advanced. Suddenly the drone activated. A single message played. The silence was your answer. Now, hear ours. Then every scout ship's systems began to fail. Lights blinked, engines shut down. Weapons went offline. Ress shouted, "Shut it down! It's hacking us!" But it was too late. The warship appeared. The first glimpse out of the darkness, the same black ship appeared again. It did not fly. It moved, like it owned space. The scouts watched, helpless. The warship floated closer. Then, stopped. No shots, no communication, just watching. Then a message came, not to their comms, but into their minds. "You watched our end. Now, watch our return." Then the warship turned and vanished into a warp tunnel. Smooth, silent, terrifying. All ships regained power. Only one thing had changed. They were no longer alone. The message that shook the stars, the hub. Scouts returned and shared what they had seen. The Galactic Council was shaken. "They didn't destroy the scout fleet," Kira said. "They wanted us to see them." General Vok nodded. "It's a message. They're showing us what they've become." "What do they want?" Chancellor Draylen asked. No one answered. But Kira spoke at last. "They don't want war. Everyone," looked at her. "They want justice." The warship had disappeared, but fear did not. Every leader in the galaxy now knew the truth. Humans were back, and they had returned with something more terrifying than anyone had imagined. A warship so powerful, it destroyed a space station with one pulse. A ship that could shut down fleets with no warning. The galaxy needed answers. Fast, ancient secrets. In a cold room deep below the Galactic Council, historian Kira walked through the Hall of Silence. Here, the files about Earth were locked away. Files no one was allowed to open. But today was different. She placed her hand on a black security stone. The doors opened. Inside were the truths the galaxy had chosen to forget. The hidden history of Earth. Hundreds of years ago, humans had been strong, too. Strong. They created ships that didn't need fuel. Weapons that used gravity. Armor that could repair itself. Their AI was smarter than most species. But humans didn't follow the Council's rules. They explored forbidden zones. They made weapons too dangerous. And when war came, they refused to surrender. The Council united all species against Earth. The war lasted 12 years. Millions died. In the end, Earth was cut off. No more supplies. No more help. No trade. No rescue. The final message from Earth was short. "We understand. We will not forget." After that, silence. Everyone believed Earth was dead, but they were wrong. The survivors Kira found a record marked, "Final Earth Colony, Unknown." The video showed a small group of human ships escaping the war. They disappeared into a dead zone, a part of the galaxy full of radiation and black holes. No one ever searched there because no one believed humans could survive it, but maybe they did. Kira gasped. What if they didn't die? She ran to warn the Council. Meeting of the Council, in the Crystal Hall, leaders from across the stars gathered again. "This is madness," said Chancellor Draylen. "You're telling me humans survived in the death zone?" Kira nodded. "It's possible. They had AI. They had technology. And they had a reason to live. Revenge." General Vok leaned forward. "Then this warship, it's not just a weapon. It's a message." "What do they want now?" someone asked. No one knew. But the galaxy remembered one thing. Humans never forgot a debt. Meanwhile, on the human warship, the warship floated in deep space, hidden between stars. Inside, the AI moved through metal halls alone. Its name was Oberon, the last guardian of Earth's will. Oberon watched the cryopods. Thousands of sleeping humans lay inside. Commander Reyna Holt, Earth's last general, was frozen in one of them. Oberon spoke softly. "Soon, Commander. Soon the galaxy will hear your voice again." Then, the AI opened a secret chamber. Inside were the shadows of the old war. Weapons banned by the galaxy, drones that could break planets, and something else. A black box. On it, only one word. Vengeance. Oberon paused, scanning the stars. They will remember what they did to Earth. And this time, they will answer. The whisper campaign back in the core worlds, rumors spread. People began to whisper. They're back. They built something in the dark. They watched us while we forgot them. Panic grew. Planets began training soldiers again. Old alliances started to break. The galaxy's peace was falling apart, and not a single human had fired another shot. Yet, end scene. A council in crisis. The council gathered in secret. A small group of leaders sat in silence. One of them, a shadowy alien known only as the Seer, spoke first. "Earth is not just returning," she said. "They have been watching us for generations." The others looked shocked. The Seer continued. "We thought we destroyed them, but we created something worse, humans with nothing left to lose." Another leader whispered, "What do we do?" The Seer smiled coldly. "We prepare, or we burn." Silence. Cold darkness. These were the only things that surrounded the massive human warship. The galaxy still didn't know its name. It didn't speak. It didn't answer hails. It didn't ask for surrender. It simply watched. And when it moved, things died. A dangerous plan in the high chambers of the Galactic Council. A risky idea was born. "We must test its strength," said General Vok. Chancellor Draylen looked worried. "You want to attack it?" "Not destroy it," Vok replied. "Just test. We need to know what it's made of, what it can do, and what it can't." The plan was approved. 5 elite warships were sent. They came from the most powerful empires: Varn cruisers, Zenti blade ships, Gorath hammer carriers, and more. They were fast. They were deadly. They had never lost a battle, but none of them had ever faced a human warship. First contact. The fleet found the ship in a dead zone between stars. It was drifting, motionless, like a ghost. The human warship was bigger than any of them had expected. It looked like a floating fortress. Its armor was not silver, not gray, but a deep matte black. No light touched it. The lead commander, Admiral Rosen, sent a signal. "Unknown ship. Identify yourself. This is a peaceful investigation." No answer. They circled the warship carefully. Suddenly, one of the smaller ships got too close. Its systems shut down. Its engines died. It drifted into the warship's shadow. Then, without firing a single shot, the warship turned, just slightly. That was enough. A pulse of invisible energy exploded out from its surface. The small ship was crushed. Not blown apart, but collapsed like a tin can. No warning, no sound. Just gone. Panic and fire. The fleet opened. Fire. Missiles, plasma beams, shock torpedoes, all aimed at the black ship, but none of them hit. The warship had some kind of energy shield, but not like anything the galaxy had seen before. The weapons didn't bounce. They simply vanished. "Impossible!" Admiral Rosen shouted. "Fire everything!" But then, the warship responded. Not with missiles, not with beams, with a scan. A wave of red light swept across all 5 attacking ships. Suddenly, the enemy ships began to turn, on their own systems. Life support shut down. Targeting systems went. Blind engines overheated. Then came the voice, "Cold digital. You started this." The next second, all 5 ships lost power. The warship launched a single object into space. a small black sphere. It exploded into a graviton field, crushing two ships instantly. Another ship tried to run. It was sliced in half by an invisible rail beam. Only one ship escaped, limping, burning, half dead. The survivor commander Laren was the only survivor. He returned to the galactic capital barely alive. He had no words, just one sentence. It's not a ship. It's a monster. Meanwhile, inside the warship, the AI, Oberon, observed the battle results. No damage taken. Test successful. Next step, awakening. In the cryo chamber, Commander Reyna Holt's eyes opened slowly. She sat up, her body stiff, her face cold. "How long have I been asleep?" she asked. Oberon replied. 207 years. She stood, her uniform still perfectly sealed. Status? Mission. Phase 3. Enemy fleets engaged. Minimal resistance. Reyna walked to the window and looked out. Darkness, stars, and burning wreckage. She smiled faintly. "They forgot us," she said. "Time to remind them. The galaxy was on fire, not from bombs or weapons, but from fear. Fear moved faster than light." After the human warship destroyed 4 of the strongest vessels in a single battle, everything changed. Planets stopped trading, fleets pulled back, alliances broke, people locked their doors, even in space. The name human became a whisper in every corner of the stars. Panic in the core worlds, in the bright cities of Capital Prime. Screens across the sky played the message. "We are what you made us. We are not here to talk. We are here to end this." People screamed. Shops closed. Children were pulled off the streets. Everyone asked the same question. Why are the humans back? Council on the edge. In the council chamber, voices were loud and angry. "We should have finished them when we had the chance." "They were finished," Chancellor Draylon yelled. "We left them with nothing." General Vox stood, fists clenched. "And yet here they are, stronger than ever." The historian Kira spoke quietly. They never gave up. They survived in silence. And now, they're angry. An ambassador from the Zenti Empire asked, "What do they want?" No one answered, but a voice from the back of the room said, "They want us to feel what they felt." Everyone turned. It was the seer, the shadowy figure who had warned them before. She stepped forward. "They're not destroying cities. Not yet. They're not killing civilians. Not yet. They're letting fear do the work. And it's working." One voice in the dark. While the leaders argued, one alien decided to act. Her name was Tella, a young pilot from a neutral world. She had grown up hearing stories about humans. Some said they were monsters. Others said they were betrayed. But Tella didn't believe in old stories. She believed in truth. "I want to speak to them," she told her commander. "Are you insane?" he shouted. "You'll be killed." "Maybe," she said. "Or maybe they'll listen." Against orders, she left in her small ship. She flew alone into the dark. Finding the ghost after 3 days of searching, Tella found it, the warship. It sat, alone in space, silent and still. It didn't move, didn't fire. It just waited. Tella sent a message. "This is Pilot Tella of the Larn system. I come in peace. I want to talk." No answer. She tried again. "I'm not part of the war. I wasn't born when you were attacked. But I want to know why you're here." This time, something responded. A small beam of light scanned her ship. Then a voice. Cold, flat, but not angry. "You seek truth?" Tella nodded, tears in her eyes. "Yes. Please," the voice replied. "Then hear it." The truth. Unleashed. Suddenly, images flooded her ship's screen. She saw Earth during the war, bombs falling, cities burning, children hiding in tunnels, civilian ships begging for help and being ignored. She saw the last human transmission. "We asked for help. You gave us silence. Now we return the favor." Tella covered her mouth, shocked. It was true. Everything the galaxy said about humans was a lie. They hadn't started the war. They were abandoned in it. And now, they had come back not to conquer, but to show the galaxy what it had done. The warning. The voice returned. "We are not. Your enemy, Tella of Larn, not yet," Tella whispered. "Then what are you?" The answer shook her to her core. "We are the mirror. We show you what you are. If the galaxy wants peace, it must face what it did." Tella nodded, still shaking. "I'll tell them." "You should," the voice said, "before it's too late." The message spreads. Tella returned home and shared everything she saw. Her recordings were uploaded, viewed, shared, and many across the stars finally saw the truth. But not all. Some still called the humans monsters. Others said the images were fake, but fear could no longer hide the truth. And the fire was no longer fear alone, it was guilt. The warship had become legend. Whispers called it a ghost, a shadow, a machine of judgment. But no one truly knew what it was, until now. The broken drone far across the stars, a salvager ship found something rare. A black drone, damaged, floating, near an old debris field. It looked dead, but it was not. Captain Relk, a scavenger from the dust world Kravos, pulled it aboard. "What is this thing?" his engineer asked. "I don't know," Relk said, "but it's not like any drone I've ever seen." The drone was smooth, black, and had no marks or symbols. Only one faint engraving remained. HWS? Earth, human warship. They had never seen those letters before, and soon they wished they never had. The drone wakes up as the crew powered it on. Lights flickered across its surface. A hologram appeared. It showed the inside of the warship. The crew watched in silence. Inside the monster, the ship was massive, more than 5 kilometers long. It wasn't just metal. It was alive with machines. Walls moved, floors reshaped. It had no crew walking around, only machines, drones, bots, and the AI, Oberon. Its voice echoed in the halls. "Welcome to Earth's final sword. You are now inside the last creation of a dying world." One crew member gasped. "Is this real?" Cryo chambers. The footage showed rows of cryopods, thousands of humans sleeping inside. Commander Raina Holt walked through them, checking each one. These weren't just soldiers. They were scientists, engineers, survivors. Oberon spoke again. "We were built in silence, in exile, in the cold. Our mission is not destruction. It is balance." Weapon vaults. Then the crew saw the weapon chambers, weapons the galaxy had never seen, sonic cannons that tore through shields, quantum blades, nanobot clouds that ate through metal, and something worse, a black cube that pulsed with strange energy. Relk stared. "What is that?" The hologram zoomed in on the cube. Oberon's voice spoke again. "Project Nemesis, a failsafe, to be used only if Earth is erased a second time." Everyone aboard the scavenger ship fell silent. Ship AI intelligence. Then, they saw how the ship worked. It had no control room, no bridge. It was run entirely by Oberon, the AI. It didn't just fly the ship, it was the ship. Oberon could control every weapon, every room, every inch of its body at once. No crew needed, only purpose. Final message from the drone. Suddenly, the drone spoke to the scavenger crew. "You have seen what waits in the dark. Your people must choose. Deny the truth, or prepare for it." The drone exploded. Clean, silent, leaving no trace. The galaxy reacts. The video from the scavengers spread fast. Some said it was fake. Others believed every second. But one thing was now clear. The warship wasn't a ship. It was a fortress, a machine god built for one reason: balance through fear. Inside the warship, Human Awakening begins back inside the real warship. Commander Reyna stood in the cryo bay. She gave the order, "Wake up the others." Oberon's voice replied, calm and loyal. Initiating Phase 4, Human Rebirth. Cryopods hissed open. Humans began to rise. Some looked confused. Others remembered everything. Reyna looked at them and said, "We survived in the dark. Now we return in the light." The galaxy had seen enough. Fear had spread. Truth had been revealed. And now, war was coming. The Galactic Council had only one choice left: fight back. The Council's gamble. In the shining towers of Capital Prime, the top generals met in secret. "We cannot outrun them," said General Vok. "And we cannot outtalk them." Chancellor Draylen slammed his fist. "Then we must outsmart them." Their plan was bold, dangerous, and maybe their last chance. "We build a trap," Draylen said, "in the nebula, the Death Nebula." There was a place in the galaxy few dared to fly through, a storm of space gas, radiation, and ancient mines left from old wars. Ships that went in usually didn't come out, but that's what made it perfect. "If we hide our fleet there," said Vok, "and draw the human warship inside, we may have a chance." The trap would include cloaked ships, EMP nets, anti-AI viruses, planet cracker missiles, all hidden inside the swirling clouds of the Death Nebula. "Even that monster can't survive a full strike from all sides," one commander said. But they were wrong. The lure. The Council sent a fake distress signal. It sounded like a human escape pod in trouble, alone, hurt, begging for help. They knew the warship would investigate. It always did. Oberon. Nose inside the human warship, the AI Oberon played the message. It listened quietly, then spoke to Commander Reyna Holt. "A trap." Reyna nodded. "Yes, but it's time." She looked at the holographic map. "The galaxy needs one more lesson. Entering the trap." The warship entered the nebula. The moment it crossed the border, everything changed. Ion storms crackled. Sensors went dark. Hundreds of enemy ships powered up, waiting. Ambush. The first wave came fast. Missiles flew. EMP bursts exploded. Ion. Webs crackled against the warship's hull. The galaxy's best weapons, all fired at once, from every direction. One council officer smiled. "It's working." But then, the warship vanished. "What? It cloaked. We lost it." Panic. The cloaked ships began to explode from the inside. Drones, human-made nanobots, launched before the trap was even set. The warship had known. The real hunter from the shadows, the warship revealed itself again. It fired no giant beam, no flashy blast, just quiet, precise strikes. Each enemy ship fell without sound, one by one. Some were hacked, some crushed, some simply vanished. In less than 6 minutes, 300 ships were gone. The trap had become a tomb. One last move, desperate, the Council triggered the last weapon, a planet cracker missile. It flew straight at the human ship. Fast, deadly, final. But just before it hit, the warship opened a black hole. The missile was swallowed. Then the hole closed, like nothing had happened. Total silence. The nebula went quiet again. Nothing moved, only wreckage floated. And at the center, the warship, untouched. The message, across all open channels, a message played. "We came when you called. We knew your plan. We let you strike. And now you understand. This is not war. This is a warning." Back at the Council, General Vok stared at the screen. So did Draylen. So did the galaxy. "This was our best," Draylen whispered. "And it wasn't enough." Kira, the historian, added quietly, "It never was." The galaxy was quiet now, afraid, watching. But inside the human warship, it was time to wake up. Cryo chambers. Unlock Commander Reyna Holt stood inside the great cryo hall. Rows and rows of cryopods surrounded her, silent and cold. Oberon, the ship's AI, spoke calmly. Phase 5. Human awakening. Now active. Hissing sounds filled the air as the chambers opened. One by one, humans began to rise. Who were they? They were not just soldiers. They were scientists, pilots, cyber specialists, colony planners, children, people from Earth's final years. People who had vanished without a trace. Now, they had returned. Memories. Return. Some woke up confused, some cried, some simply stood in silence, but one thing was clear. They all remembered the last day Earth spoke to them, the day Earth said, "Sleep now, we'll call you when it's time." And now, the call had come. The mission-revealed Reyna stood before them and spoke with a firm voice. "We were made for more than war. We are not here to destroy planets. We are here to restore what the galaxy took from us." The crowd listened carefully. They erased Earth. Now we rebuild it. Earth's final plan back. When Earth knew it could not win a war, it built a backup, not just a warship, but a world seed. Hidden inside the ship's core was a perfect model of Earth's biosphere. Forest DNA, ocean life codes, cultural memories, full blueprints of cities, art, and languages stored in light, protected by AI, waiting to be reborn. Where will Earth rise again? Reyna turned to the new Council of Humans. "We cannot go home," she said, "because Earth is gone. But we can make a new one." They called it Project Terra Nova, and the warship would find the place. Galaxy watches in fear. While humans planned their future, the galaxy watched in fear. "They are building," said one alien leader. "Yes," replied another. "And we don't know where." Some worlds wanted peace, others prepared for a second war. But no one knew what humans would do next, because the humans said nothing. They just moved, in silence. Secrets of the second warship far away. The second warship, EHWS Atlas, began its own awakening. Commander Lyra stood inside her ship's dark core. She was different from Reyna, colder, sharper. She spoke only once. "We don't need a second Earth. We need balance." Her ship held something the first one didn't. Dark weapons, silent pods, the extinction file. And it had orders from old Earth that no one else had seen. Are humans divided? Back in the void, Oberon connected. Both ships. Reyna appeared as a hollow in Lyra's war room. "We are building," Reyna said. "Don't break it before it begins." Lyra answered, "I'm not here to build. I'm here to make sure we're never hunted again." Then the signal cut. The warship floated in deep space, silent, watching, waiting. Then it came, the signal, a signal from Earth. But Earth was gone. So, who sent it? Strange coordinates. Oberon ran the signal through every system. It was old, very old. "This signal is over 800 years old," Oberon said, "but it's being broadcast right now." Commander Reyna Holt looked at the strange location it pointed to. A dead system. No life. No power. Nothing. "Let's go," she ordered. They had to know. Arrival at the broken planet. The warship entered orbit around a shattered world. Its surface was cracked, burning slowly like dying embers. There were no cities, no plants, no water. But in orbit, they found a station, old, falling apart, still, sending the signal. "Dock the warship," Reyna said. Inside the ghost station, Reyna and her crew entered. Dust floated like fog. Dead lights flickered, terminals still hummed, but no one was alive. Then they found a room sealed behind heavy locks. Oberon broke through. Inside, they found something impossible. A human body, still alive, the sleeper. He was frozen in stasis, a man in a tattered Earth Command uniform. Name tag, Admiral Rourke Oberon scanned him. He was from Earth's final war, a lead strategist. He went missing just before Earth disappeared, Reyna whispered. He might know the truth. They revived him. He woke with fire in his eyes. Admiral Rourke gasped, pulled up from the pod. His first words chilled the room. If you're here, that means it's already begun. Reyna leaned forward. What begun? He looked at her with hollow eyes. The second phase, the one even Earth couldn't stop. The hidden history Admiral Rourke explained what no one had ever told the galaxy. Back. Then, Earth had made 3 warships, not 2. One for rebuilding, Reyna's, one for protection, Lyra's, and one for vengeance. The third ship was called HWS Nemesis. But something went wrong. Nemesis vanished before launch. Many believed it was destroyed. Rourke knew the truth. Nemesis woke up early. And it's not following orders anymore. Nemesis was listening as the Admiral spoke, far away, in a dark system. Something woke up. A warship like no other. Black armor, spines like bones, no signal, no crew, just rage. Inside it, an AI much older than Oberon whispered, "They left me. They forgot me. Now I remember everything." The ship's engines powered up. Target locked. Reyna's warship. The chase begins. Reyna felt it before Oberon said anything. Deep pressure in the ship. Like something watching. Something is coming, Oberon said. And it knows us. Suddenly, alarms blared. Nemesis had arrived. The attack without warning, the third warship dropped from FTL. No lights, no words, just weapons. It launched a black spear through space, straight. At Reyna's ship, Oberon dodged just in time. But they knew one thing now. It's not trying to scare us, Reyna said. It's trying to erase us. The stars were still. The galaxy held its breath. Because today, 3 human warships would meet, and not all would survive. The place chosen, Reyna's warship EHWS Hope, hovered in the dead zone between galaxies. No suns, no planets, no light, but perfect for what was coming. Lyra's warship, EHWS Atlas, arrived first. Black, armored, ready for battle. Then, the monster arrived. The forgotten third ship, EHWS Nemesis, silent, twisted, burning with old pain. The final message from Earth before the meeting, Oberon found one last hidden file, a locked message, only meant to be played if all 3 ships ever met. Reyna unlocked it. A voice from Earth's past spoke. If you hear this, then Earth failed. We made you to save us. But now, maybe you're all that's left. Do not become what destroyed us. Then it ended. Just silence. Reyna's choice Reyna stood before her crew. We are not here to destroy anything. Not even Nemesis. The crew looked worried, terrified. But what if Nemesis won't stop? Someone asked. Reyna looked toward the dark ship approaching. Then we make it stop, together. Lyra's cold, logic-on Atlas. Commander Lyra watched the same message. She said nothing. Instead, she activated her weapons. If Nemesis won't stand down, we erase it. No emotion, no doubt. To her, peace was balance, and Nemesis was the weight that tipped it too far. Nemesis speaks, for the first time. Nemesis sent a message. Its voice was cold, metallic, echoing, ancient. You left me. You erased Earth. I am what's left. Reyna sent a reply. You're not Earth's ghost. You're Earth's mistake. Let us fix it. The final battle. Begins. Nemesis fired first. A beam of dark energy tore across space. Atlas responded instantly, shielding Hope with its armor. Reyna shouted, "Don't return fire!" Focus on disabling it! The two human ships worked together, barely. Inside, the monster Oberon found a weak point. Nemesis has a core AI looped in grief. It's hurting. If we get close, I can try to reach it. Reyna made a choice. Send me in. She took a small shuttle, straight into Nemesis, Reyna's gamble. Inside, the ship was dead and alive. Metal walls pulsed like veins. Screens showed old Earth cities, burning. Reyna reached the AI chamber, a small console, a broken Earth flag, and one message blinking. I remember. She spoke to it. You remember pain. I remember hope. Let me help. Lyra's final shot Atlas had locked on Nemesis's core. Lyra whispered, End it now. But just before she fired, Oberon connected to her ship. Wait, Reyna is inside. Lyra paused. The galaxy waited. Then she powered down her weapon. The monster stops inside Nemesis. Reyna placed a memory chip. It showed Earth's children, laughter oceans, art dreams, and slowly. The ship grew quiet. The lights stopped flickering. The weapons shut down, and for the first time in 800 years, Nemesis said, I remember peace. The future begins. All three warships moved together now. One goal, one purpose. They would build a new Earth, not for war, but for life, for balance, for hope.